Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to come and talk about love and hip hop Huntsville. Well, the show was actually called Love and Marriage Huntsville, but the way that it ended, yeah, the way that it ended, I thought it was about to be WWE SmackDown. Okay, so listen, let's go ahead and get into this episode. When I tell you this episode was meh, this episode was messy. All right. So the episode picks up where it left off. Trisha is in the principal's office. Trisha is in the principal's office. It's giving human resources quarterly evaluation. Yeah, right. Um, yeah, it's giving quarterly evaluation down to the human resources office. You're meeting up with your boss, and your boss is letting you know how you're doing. That's what it gets. Well, I have been saying this for years that a lot of times when Melody meets up, especially with the newer cast members, it does give a employee evaluation. It does give a human resources type of feel. It does give employee employer. It does give manager, insubordinate. It does give supervisor. It always feels that way, especially with the newer cast members. Not so much when she meets up with Kimmy and Tisha and the other girls now, but it gives that feel. Let me just say something about Latricia. Latricia, baby, I didn't even clock this tea. Girl, you better clock that tea. Clock it. Okay, you better clock that tea. Clock it. Somebody clock the tea. One of the cousins clocked your tea. The last review.
You better clock that T, clock it, yeah.
Latricia, in 2020, girl, it was this thing that um, hit us, the world, okay, and it was called the pandemic, okay, and for a lot of us, we were not able to really leave our homes. The world changed. It really changed. And I didn't even clock it when the year that you went over to Martell's home was in 2020. Now we know the pandemic hit. Well, we're not gonna say it hit, but we were told about it in March. I believe it was March. Um, and so I think the timeline was that when she went over there, I think it was sometime in the fall, right? Nonetheless, girl, it was 2020. It was a pandemic, and you mean to tell me in 2020, girl, in 2020, you were out in these streets going over to a man's house because you were training him. Now, don't get it twisted. I also know a lot of people had to do what they had to do in order to still make ends meet, right? So some people were, people still had to work. And now I will say in the fall, it wasn't as nearly as bad as it was when it first hit in March. But it was still be careful, wear your mask, right? Wash your hands every time you touch something. We was going through bottles of soap in one day, right? Cans of Lysol. But I just wish Latricia would just be honest and say, "Girl, I went over to Martell's house because I wanted to have sex." Because it would just make it so much better. But we did not have sex. The intent was to have sex because I know you didn't go over to that man's house in 2020. Musclehead Martell, who was probably in the best shape of his life, and you really believe that Martell needed you to come help him train. That's what I be saying. Like, girl, just tell the truth. It's okay, girl. It's okay, right? It's okay. That will make. I just feel like that will make it sound so much better. For some reason, Latricia is still playing this game of trying to put it on Martell. Uh, like Martell is a lot of things, but in that scenario, when we clocked that something could have happened between Martell and Latricia, it wasn't just Martell. When they met at Stormy's house, it wasn't just Martell. Latricia, you made it awkward too. And because you're either telling a lie, telling half the truth, not telling the full story, however you want to word it, people think that you're lying also. We don't know what happened at Martell's house. A part of me does believe, and I think I said this before, a part of me does believe that Martell and Latricia did not have sex. A part of me does believe it. At first, it was like, girl, girl, somebody had their legs to the moon. Okay, girl. What they say ain't nothing open after midnight except for legs, and I thought it was Latricia's at one point. Okay, but I kind of believe they didn't have sex. It's just that they how they went about it. I think that's why everybody was questioning, like, girl, somebody lying. You know what I'm saying? Um, Um, Melody thinks it's weird that Latricia friends told her business, basically, or questioned her at the table. She's trying to get at Stormy. When I tell you, when I tell you, baby, Stormy went to her son's t-ball game and she ain't popped back since. That's a long ass t-ball game. Girl, how long is the game, Stormy? Girl, y'all know Stormy quit. But you know, the last time we saw Stormy, she was leaving the island or wherever they were at. Where were they at? Did they go? Was it Mexico? I forgot where they were. Turks and Caicos. Was it Turks and Caicos? I can't remember. St. Thomas. Was it St. Thomas? Wherever they went, girl. Stormy said that she had to leave early because her son, I think it was her son's first t-ball game. Girl, so how many endings is it? Girl, you ain't popped back. The game's still going. Is they girl? They must be in quadruple overtime. Girl, that thing Stormy ain't showed her face and she left. I know that's right. Um, I think she was. I think Melody was more so getting at Stormy, kind of questioning her at the table. I did kind of agree with Melody, believe it or not, that if I had felt that my friend like was lying, I don't know if I would have like kind of questioned my friend in front of everybody either. I think it would have been more so, girl, come with me to the restroom. Girl, I need you to help me remove my tampon. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Girl, you told me so and so and so and so. I was trying not to call you out at the table, but girl, you didn't tell me that story, right? So I get what Melody was trying to say. Melody, girl, I was on Melody's side. I really, really was. But Melody, I think your slip kind of showed a little bit towards the end. We're gonna get to it though. Um, I saw a lot of people thinking that Melody, like Latricia said this. Latricia said she questions whether or not her and Mel are really good because why is she questioning her? A part of me, and I said this last episode and I'll say it again, I really don't believe, I'll say this, I don't think that Melody is, I don't think that Melody cares about Martell at all. And I don't think that Melody cares that whether or not Latricia or Martell has sex. Because I think now, since she's figured out that girl, I was out of the house. You know what I'm saying? So this was after me. So it is what it is. I don't think Melody cares. So even if she found out that Latricia and Martell has sex, I don't think she would care because it still happened after she left. I guess when she left the relationship or the marriage. Um, But a part of me, and I just thought that Melody was just being messy. You know, I don't care. I don't care about the girls being messy, but that's a part of the show. I thought Melody was just being messy and nosy and petty to meet up with Latricia and just try to get the tea. But then again, like I said, Melody, a slip kind of showed towards the end. We'll get into it. All right. Did y'all see that clip when they played Miss Wanda? Where Miss Wanda? Girl, I miss Miss Wanda. Girl, can y'all bring Miss Wanda ignorant ass back on the? Y'all know that's my girl. I love me some Wanda Jean Sue. You know I made it. You know I'll be making the girls' names up. God, I love me some Wanda Sue. I do. God, I want Wanda back on the show. Miss Wanda said, "Girl, bitches, bitches." Cause she was talking about something about bitches not buying shoes in a boss. That's what she said. A boss. I said a boss. I love Miss Wanda. Um, Latricia, Latricia was nervous AF. Girl, Latricia, girl, breathe, sister. Melody can't fire you. Girl, please. Please believe Melody ain't got no firing or hiring power because if she did, half of them hoes would be gone. Start with Martell. Okay? Martell would have been gone. Destiny would have came back. Okay? Um, so Nail, I always get her name confused. Nail, Chris, and Martell. So Nell and Chris, Chris is opening up a new office on the north side of Huntsville. So they're at his new office, and Martell stops by. Um, okay, let me just talk. Okay, let me say something. When I tell you Martell Holt is the Lulu, the Lulu. But, girl, here I go with a but I also understood what Martell was trying to say once I rewatched it. Sometimes I believe it or not, girl, I really be trying to see, like, I be trying to make sense of the mess sometimes. Like, girl, what once I kind of get done cursing the girls out, I'll be like, okay, girl, maybe she was making sense. Let me just think about it. Girl. So they're talking about what happened the previous day. Or, well, not the previous day, but at Destiny's, um, what is it called? What did Destiny have? The Adult Field Day thingy. Let me just say something about that Adult Field Day. Tisha, some of you may not know, Tisha did an interview with Carlos King. And she let it be known on Carlos King's show that a lot of the stuff was cut out, which we know. These people shoot scenes for 2 and 3 hours and they condense it down to, a 3 or 4 minute, segment. Um, I don't. Tisha let it be known that Martell allegedly like boys in college. Yes, I said boys. Yes, men's. Girl, yes. And she said, "Ain't no allegedly." And I felt like it was so wrong for them not to show that, and I'll tell you why. And I said this other, and I'm saying it again because I know everybody don't watch all the videos. If Martell is able to sit there in front of everybody, in front of the camera crew, right, in front of the producers, girl, the interns, whomever was there, and bring up Tisha's, let me tell you something. Ain't no girl. Most people are not virgins when they get married. Okay. A lot of people already have kids. Girl, y'all been having sex since y'all was in middle school, so most people ain't even virgin. I ain't say all, I said most. Okay. So everybody has a sex past. But I do believe that it could be uncomfortable for people, especially in a group setting, to start talking about someone's wife's sex, you know, people she had sex with in the past. So I just thought it was wrong for Martell to be able to say and them show it in the episode while Tisha's husband was there, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, friends, and family that, start talking about who Tisha had sex with in college. Like, nobody wants to hear that. But then when Marceau and Tisha start talking about who Martell had sex with in college, they cut that part out. If you're going to allow it to be shown and for us to see that Martell is talking about niggas who Tisha was smashing in college, who was crawling in between her legs, then y'all should also show the rebuttal. Y'all should also show how they were talking about who the niggas Martell was sleeping with in college and who could have possibly been crawling between his legs too. But no, y'all just show him talking about Tisha, but then y'all don't show what they said about Martell. I don't think that's fair. Either you're going to show all of it or don't show none of it. The same way Tisha don't want to be talking about who she smashed before. Martell don't want nobody to know who he smashed before Melody. Y'all get what I'm saying? I just want to say that. He says that Tisha would throw stuff in Melody's face and it would trigger her. I'm sorry. He said Tisha would throw stuff in Melody's face. Wait, hold on. Let me read, girl. Hold up. I be writing so fast sometimes. Let me read this, girl. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Give me like 6 seconds. What did I write? What trigger Melody divorce him? I said this is insane, but it's not. Oh, girl. He was trying to put it on. He was trying to put it on Tisha. Girl, Martell, come here, baby. Come here, sit right here, baby. Sit right here, Martell. We need to talk, baby. I think it's time for you to let the divorce between you and Melody go. Yeah, it's time. Um, it's been some time. Melody has moved on. Melody ain't thinking about you. Melody ain't gonna never get back with you. Maybe if y'all were not on this television show, y'all probably could have stayed married. For you to place the blame on anybody except for you and your dirty dick is absolutely insane. And the simple fact that we are 9 seasons in, I'm serious, y'all, and Martell is still not taking any type of accountability for his marriage being ruined is diabolical. It really, really is. Martell really said that Tisha would throw stuff in Melody's face, and he didn't know what would trigger Melody to divorce him. That's what he said. You don't. You don't. But I'm gonna tell you why. Listen to now. I know y'all about to say, "Girl, you sound crazy," but I don't. Listen to me. Listen to me. I get why Martell said what he said when I thought about it. Because in Martell's head, I can guarantee you, in Martell's head, I was already cheating prior to this show. She already knew about Ariane, right? So in his head, he can't process why all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but why would she divorce me? This is not new to her ears. She already knew about all of this stuff. And now all of a sudden you divorce me. So I think in his head, the way he's processing it is once Tisha and whomever else started to throw it in her face, that is what triggered Melody to leave me because this stuff was not new. Even after she found out I was cheating, she still had another baby by me. You see what I'm saying? When you think about it that way, I absolutely understand why Martell can still, in his head, be shocked about the divorce because all this shit was already going on. She already knew about everything. She already knew about the secret cell phone and all that stuff. Remember, they told us about that at the reunion. And she still stayed with me and she still got pregnant. We had another baby. So, like, why are you leaving me now? That's in his head. That's in his head. But she left because she left you because she got tired of Martell. That's all that is. And I'm gonna keep saying this, and I'm gonna say it till I can't no more. If Melody and Martell were not on TV, Melody would still be with Martell. Because Melody even said out of her own mouth, it ain't even got nothing to do with the baby. That's what she said. On the show, she said it. She said it was more so about the disrespect that was coming from Martell. So it is what it is at this point. They've been on the show. She left you. You need to get over it. Martell needs to take some account. He needs to take the accountability because the truth of the matter is, whoever Melody was opening her legs to during the marriage, she ain't had no baby by him, and ain't no nigga came forward. You see what I'm saying? It ain't no different than how we feel about Marceau. We think Marceau is cheating, but the fact of the matter is, ain't no bitch came forward. So we can think what we think all day long. Martell, we know about your girlfriend. We know about the baby. We've seen your girlfriend. She's done interviews. You see what I'm saying? Like Martell is going to have to come to Martell is going to have to come to whatever happened, however long Melody stayed with me, even if she knew that I was cheating. The fact of the matter is, you cheated and you had a baby. This is on you. This ain't on nobody else. This is on you, sir. Girl, you cheated. You had a baby. You cheated. And you came on to the show. And that's another thing, too, why I think Martell is having a hard time grasping why Melody divorced him is because he did come on the show and he told us that this lady was his girlfriend. Girl. The first season, I think it was the first season, Martell said that he had a girlfriend. But I also believe it's because a lot of men, and I hate to say this, but a lot of men have cheated on their girlfriends and wives, and the girlfriends and wives, no shade to y'all who stayed, but they stick around. So in Martell's head, out of everybody I know, they still got their wives and even a little side bitch on the side. And mine left me. What's going on? Martell is still the Lulu though. Like I said, I feel like I get why he said what he said, but Martell is gonna have to do some deep. Like I think at this point, it's kind of the ship has sailed with Martell, the accountability ship, because Martell, this is all your fault, and that's just what it comes down to. Um, he feels like Tisha had an impact on the divorce, and I put no, the show did. Tisha ain't had shit on your divorce. The show did. Once Melody got on this show, and she probably got tired of people calling her stupid and dumb, and she realized that, girl, I could probably do this by myself. I don't need that nickel. Melody girl got her panties in her bras, and she ran for the hills, and she ain't turned back up. And she ain't turned back. Okay. Um, he says that Tisha never apologized about the things she said back then about their marriage, so he doesn't feel bad about what he said about Tisha. But did Tisha lie? Again, no accountability. Did Tisha lie? Mm. So Ken and Will. Will is Ken's friend. And girl, what I say, I don't know. I was so confused about what they was at. I saw, I don't know. Girl, I thought it was, I don't know. Girl, I was so confused. I was like, what type of business? I don't know what it was, girl. I was like, is this a trap house? Girl, are they selling? I don't know what's going on. I was like, girl, they selling drugs out there. I don't know what's going on. Girl, all I know is, girl, it looked like, it looked like, some vintage. We're going to call it vintage. We're not going to call it old. But it looked like some vintage furniture. Then I thought it was a bar. At first, I thought it was a barber shop. I was like, okay, maybe it's a barber shop with like a bar. Right, but I was just so thrown off about the whole setup. I don't know what type of business that was. Anyways, but it was a business done. I'm assuming it was a business. Okay. Um, he stops and he talks to Will. And again, I said Will was Ken's friend, right? And they're talking about Marquez. Um, he said he made a little joke with her. Once she gets a divorce, he'll go get a ring. I think we're moving in the right time frame. Um, I think we're moving in the right time frame. Well, no, I'm sorry. I think the time frame. Anyway, he said something about like them moving the time frame they're moving in. He think it's the right time frame. Can I say something? This is where I feel like nobody is listening. Maybe it's me. Maybe I don't remember. I'll say that. Maybe I don't remember. But from what I think I remember, Latricia has been kind of concrete on not being 100% sure she wants to rush into another marriage. I have not heard Latricia say, yes, I am ready to get married to Ken. I'm ready to hop in another marriage with whomever. I've heard Latricia kind of be like, no, I don't know if I really want to get married right now. The marriage that she's in right now really, I don't think it was just a good. Well, I don't want to say that. I'm sure they had some good times in their marriage, but I think it's left a very sour. taste in Latricia's mouth. But I feel like everybody keeps talking about marriage, 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 but Latricia keeps saying either she doesn't want to rush into marriage, it's not the right time, I need to do some work. That's one thing I will give Latricia her flowers. At least Latricia is acknowledging that, girl, I got some work I got to do. My communication is not up to par. My temper is fucking horrible, right? But I feel like in Ken's mind, it's like, well, I think we're moving in the right time frame, and when she gets a divorce, I'm going to get a ring. But is she telling you? But is she saying that she wants that? Because I haven't heard Latricia say that. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Um, he says that he wants Marquez, so they're throwing the kids. I think the oldest son just graduated from high school, and I think the other girl just is going to high school. Anyways, they're throwing the party. They're throwing a party for the kids. That's what it comes down to. And he said he wants Marquez to be at the kids' celebration, but he doesn't want the kids to pick up on the awkwardness. Girl, let me say something. Can I say something, y'all? And this is why Ken, we gotta tug on your wig a little bit towards the end, because you are talking out of both sides of your face. And this, stop acting like y'all kids are stupid. You may not want the kids to pick up on the awkwardness, but they will. The same way Latricia's son noticed that his mother smiles more now that she's with Ken. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think the thing that frustrates me the most with people is most of us, okay, if you're not a child watching this, but most of us have experienced childhood, and you pick up on things, and you can sense things, and you can hear things, and you can see things, right? So whatever's going to happen at the party, the kids will notice. And if you don't want the kids to notice, then you shouldn't have done the messy shit that you did. We're gonna get into Ken. We're gonna get into Ken, because I understood what Ken's motivation was behind what he did, but it was still messy as hell. Girl, I tell you, bitch, I was when I tell you, bitch, I was gagging towards the end. I said, "Oh, girl, they about to fight." Girl, the liquor is flowing. Girl, you know when a nigga start drinking, taking shots, they hit him say and Casamigos, girl, and Grey Goose will get you loose, girl, and Taco Vodka and Tito's and all types of shit. They probably had that one. You know, the girls started drinking liquor, honey. They was drinking that gasoline. Good, they ain't like they was drinking champagne fish. They ain't like they was drinking champagne. A little cute bubbly. Girl, they was drinking that gasoline, baby. I said, girl, they about to turn that whole backyard up. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I just feel like even though you don't want the kids to notice the awkwardness, the kid, all you could do is just say, I know the kids are probably gonna pick up on it. I just hope that this goes smoothly. The kids notice shit. They just do. Anyways, Ken is basically tired of Marquez. And he basically said that, girl, if he keep up, he gonna get these hands. I like Ken. I don't care what nobody say. Um, Latricia and Destiny meet up. Amber is the notary. So the last thing they did with the whole when Latricia signed the divorce papers at the restaurant, that was just for TV. Okay, that was just for TV. So I guess this is the real divorce papers. So they get the divorce papers notarized, and then Destiny thinks it's a little weird. Destiny says she thinks it's kind of weird that Latricia is casually signing her divorce papers in front of her. She thinks it's great. It's really not. It's really not. Girl, I hate to say this. Destiny, one of the Destiny was getting on my nerves. Destiny was really trying to put in Latricia's head that, like, no, you're going to go through a grieving process. No, you need, like, basically, you need to listen to me because I know it. Like, I get that Destiny been through a divorce, but the difference between Destiny and Latricia is Destiny, while you had just given birth to your son, you had your baby in one hand, and that nigga, the chicken man, had handed you divorce papers in the other hand. That's probably why it was so traumatizing and grieving for you. Latricia, on the other hand, girl, she ain't been with a nigga in 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Okay, she been over the shit. Okay, this ain't no girl. Like the ship has sailed, girl. She might, but I just feel like if the situations, divorce is divorce at the end of the day. But the situations and why you probably felt the way you felt, and why Latricia probably does not give a damn, it would make sense why you probably feel the way that you felt because, girl, you came on TV with your man, and then you told us, girl, what did she say? 2 or 3 weeks after she had the baby, the nigga filed for divorce from her. So that's probably why you was going through the month. You was probably going through postpartum. Then you got this husband. He pressured you about taking his last name. Quite as escape. I think that man only really wanted Destiny to have a baby so the baby could have his last name. I really think that's probably what it was. And after he got the baby, girl, he was like, I don't want to be with her no more. You would go through a grieving period, girl. I put girl, shut up. And she trying to tell you, girl, I'm fine. Girl, I'm good. Girl, I'm good. No, you're gonna go through. Girl, I'm good. No, listen. No, she telling you she good though. You went through whatever process you went through. Now this is why I was like, oh, Latricia, you messy. Latricia basically said that she kind of gets upset with Ken because he's so peaceful. I guess she want him to be rah, rah, rah sometimes. So you want your nigga to end up in jail? Or hurt, or possibly hurt? Because Ken is a big nigga. Okay? But that don't mean that Ken can't get hurt. Because if Ken ran up to me, girl, I know I can't beat Ken up. So I'm going to have to I'm gonna have to pull out a pow, 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 a baseball bat and get the swinging, because that's the only way I'm going to knock that big nigga down to the ground. Okay? Because once Ken get his hand on you, Ken is a big nigga. Girl, once Ken get his hands on you, girl, it is lights out. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, if Ken ran up on me, girl, I'm going to have to make sure I pull out a pop-up and just get like, girl, because that's the only way you're going to take him out. So all I'm saying is, girl, you want this man is trying to be peaceful, and you want him to be turned up. Okay? Anyways, Marceau and Letitia. Can I say something? Y'all know I love Marceau. I do. But Marceau, when I tell you are still an ain't shit father, girl, this far in the game. All I can remember was when Marceau did not know his son. I remember when this show first this show first came on, and I went back and I was watching because I didn't start watching when y'all saw. I think I started watching season 2, and I went back and I watched season 1. Anyway, I played catch up basically. Maybe I even started watching season 3. I can't remember, child. I cannot remember. Anyways, I went back and I played catch up, and I remember just looking at Marceau like, girl, this nigga is a mess. Like, this nigga is trash. Girl, I remember him saying that these are not my kids. These are Tisha's kids. I'm just a father. I remember him not knowing that his son was allergic to something. He almost gave it to him. And now here we are, like 9 seasons later, eight seasons later after season 1, and he didn't know that his son had senior pictures that day. And then he says, keep me involved in that. And then Tisha says, I absolutely will. Well, I didn't think that I didn't know that was something you would like be interested in knowing. And then he was like, I have a son graduating. Marcel, you don't talk to your son? Because at this point, if your son is graduating from high school, Tisha really don't even got to tell you. He got senior pictures. I think it's senior pictures for the yearbook. I don't think it was like actual senior pictures. You taking pictures with it. Tisha doesn't even have to tell you, because I would think that you would be talking to your son about what's going on. Like, I just think it's so weird that but that's why when y'all be screwing, it's no shade. Oh, I hate that I'm about to say something. That's when y'all be screaming, girl, two-parent, 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 two-parent household. Yeah, it might be two parents in the household, but only one of them is active. Because as far as I'm concerned, Tisha is a married single mother. And that's for some of the girlies out there. If we're gonna be honest about it. Girl, these people do not know what be going on in their children's lives. You don't know your son got picture day. Your wife just said in front of the camera that she didn't even think that would be something you would even care about, basically. I mean, well, he is my son. Well, girl, you don't act like it. Well, maybe you do act like it. I don't know. I was just like, Marcel, girl, we like at 9 seasons, 8 seasons later, and you still don't know the fuck going on with your son. But I'm in a household. I'm a provider. You don't provide nothing emotional to them kids, probably. Probably nothing mental. Girl, you and your son probably don't even talk. Because again, even with Tisha not even telling you, girl, I would assume that you would still know that senior pictures are coming up. I don't know. I just think that's a mess. I'm sorry, I think that's a mess. Um, he says Mel hit me up. She hit you up. What she say, girl? Y'all so girl, you know, girl, Tisha, girl, no shade. Tisha, girl, don't know about girl. Let me say something to Miss Tisha. Miss Tisha, girl, Melody do, girl, Melody do not want Marcel at all, girl, at all. I can guarantee you that. Okay. Um. So Melody comes to the restaurant, and long story short, they talk about what happened at the field day, and Martell is not supposed to be in contact with Melody unless it's about the kids. And he texts her, basically telling her that Marceau and Tisha were talking about her. Again, I don't know because they left so much out of that clip, but from what they showed, I didn't really see them say anything about Melody except for I think they did show this about when Martell was saying that Marceau could have been possibly sleeping with Melody. But for the most part, I didn't really hear. Again, they could have said it, and they just didn't show it. But they didn't show anything on the show that would make me believe that they had said something about Melody. Melody says that even when Martell sent her the message, she knew she had to basically get the other side and not just believe what Martell says. I'm so happy that she just didn't jump into let me go over here and read Tisha and Marceau. And she literally went and got the other side because, girl, you know that man. You was married to him. Okay. Um, and they also talked about how did y'all hear that tea when when Martell said I gave him work? I mean, when Marceau said I gave him work, I also let him borrow. I also gave him some money. I said, "Oh, girl, you know, it's so crazy because now, girl, they met. Girl, you know the gag is, girl, low key. If I was Melody, I would kind of like, girl, just laugh in y'all face because now, Martell is literally doing, you know, I mean, girl, let me tell you something, girl. If you dog your wife out, bitch, you'll dog anybody out, and that's just all. And I'm standing on it. If you dog your wife out, you'll damn sure dog me out. So the simple fact that now Martell is dogging out girl Tisha and Martell after and don't get it twisted. Like we said the other night on my live, Melody is not innocent because at one season it got out that I think Melody was supposed to bring on an alleged side chick of Marceau's, but just like they said, and I think it was a shout out to the diva. I think just like she did, just because even if that is true, that doesn't mean that you need to go and befriend Martell. Because Melody could have been ain't shit, but girl, Martell is ain't shit too. It's one thing for you to be like, I'm not fooling with her or him, but for you to kind of not fool with Melody, but then also in a way befriend Martell or but take Martell's side, I think is absolutely crazy. And now he biting y'all head off. It is what it is. Um, baby. So Latricia and Ken, this is the party for the kids. Baby, when I tell you, Marquez, in my opinion, showed up ready to fight. Marquez, he showed up to, as far as I'm concerned, Marquez probably had about 3 or 4 shots before he even got down to that show. Girl, they probably gave it to him before he walked in. I feel like Marquez was already, had probably a little drink, not drunk. I don't think he was drunk, but I think that I think he has some alcohol in the system. Um, he walks in, he starts to introduce himself to people. I'm the father of these beautiful babies. That's what he told somebody. Girl, now I don't want to be too messy, but girl, I'm gonna have to say it. I don't know how long Marquez had been there before he saw his daughter, but all I know is that on my television screen, that little girl was walking right past her father like she didn't even see him. And he had to stop her and grab her and like give her a hug. I'm telling you, I know y'all saw that. Girl, go back and watch if you didn't see it. Marquez was standing right here. That little girl was walking right past him, right in front of him, with a plate in her hand. And then he grabbed her and told her that she looked cute. He gave her a hug. I think he kissed on her forehead or something. I heard her say something about daddy, something. I can't remember. Girl, y'all be trying to act like these kids don't know what the fuck is going on. One thing I do not like, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I do not like, I absolutely hate it. I do understand that there are women out there who will use their kids as a piece in the game with their baby daddies. I understand it. I know it exists. But I'm so sick and tired of people acting as if kids cannot sense what's going on, that kids cannot come to their own conclusion about whether or not my daddy is an ain't shit nigga, my mama might be an ain't shit bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I see this happens with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Oh, she turning them kids against him. Girl, ain't nobody gotta turn no fucking kids against their daddy. We've all experienced childhood before. Some of us have experienced dealing with an ain't shit parent before. I don't need my mama to tell me my daddy was an ain't shit nigga. Now, at the time, I probably wasn't saying he's an ain't shit nigga, but I knew that he was an absentee father. Girl, hello? And I know I didn't want no parts of him. Girl, their daughter walking by her father that way showed me a lot. Latricia ain't got to tell that girl nothing. That girl is of age to know what the fuck is going on. The same way their son was of age when he said out of his mouth that this is the most he's seen his mother smile since she's been with Ken. Those kids knew that the situation that their mother was in with their father was a fucking nightmare. I'm just saying. People need to start giving kids enough credit to realize that they know what is going on. Girl, that girl walked right past her daddy. Tried to anyways. And they caught her right on camera. I said, oh my God, today. Baby, so Marquez says, let's take a shot. Marquez, this is not your house. You're like, how are you telling people, let's take a shot? I feel like in this situation, it would be one thing if this was a Will and Jada and Sheree type of situation, Mashonda, Alicia Keys, and Swiss Beats type of situation, where girl, me casa, su casa, is that how you say it? My house, your house, girl. We one big happy family. But girl, that's not what this like to me, Marquez should be the type of person where it's better to be seen and not heard. And I feel like Marquez was doing a lot. You should have just walked into the party, introduced yourself to some people, and then sat down, spoke to the kids, of course, speak to the owners of the home, and then, girl, again, be seen and not heard. Marquez wanted to be seen and he wanted to be heard. And he was moving like that was his home. Who the hell goes to somebody's home when there is some conflict? Girl, yeah, let's take some shots. Who the hell are you? Girl, no, sit your ass down. Okay? They already don't want you to be here quiet as it's kept anyways. Um, so he starts to talk about, he gives a shot. This is for being like bigger people. This is for our babies, our wives. I mean, this is what he did. This is what he did. As he's giving the toast, as he's giving the toast for the shots, all the niggas are around, right? And he's like, this is to us being bigger, like bigger, I think he said bigger, better men or something like that. This is to our babies and to our wives. Not our wives, not our wives. What? I said, girl, this nigga is trying to fight. Girl, you're clearly trying to fight, Ken. Marquez then walks up to Chris, Maurice, and Chris's son. Is that Chris stepson? I think she had him before Chris came in the picture, right? Anyway, that's still Chris's son, girl, whoever. The one who Destiny, I guess, talking to. He said he's triggered. He wants some advice and support. Let me say something. Just because you don't know someone doesn't mean that you can't offer support and advice. People do it all the time. A stranger can walk up to you, kind of give you a quick rundown of, can you give me some advice? You can give a stranger advice based off what they tell you. So it's not that Marquez is a stranger to them and they can't give Marquez advice or I guess support in that moment. I think it was how it happened. Marquez, why are you walking up to these people at your your wife separated and her new boyfriend, and now you're trying to give them a rundown on why y'all not together? Him saying, check your bitch, when they got together. Like, y'all get what I'm saying? Like now it's not necessarily advice and support. Again, you're being messy. You've been messy since you walked into into this backyard. So what do you think is going to happen if Ken or Latricia hear you over just a few feet away talking about them? I just think it was like, girl, wrong road, wrong road. If you had bumped into Ken at the grocery store, fine. If you had bumped into Ken on the street, fine. The same way Melody told Latricia, girl, don't tell him about the divorce papers. Today is not the time. And I agree with Melody, girl, this is not the time. The nigga could, you know what I'm saying? That was not the time or the place for Marquez to start giving a rundown of how him and Latricia split up and can't, like, shit just gonna go left. I don't think he should have did that. So now it does become this, why is this nigga in you're like, girl, why are you in my face? Because if Ken walk over here or Latricia hear you, girl, shit is gonna go down. And that's why I won't want no parts of it, girl. Please, girl, I don't want no parts of this, baby. There's too much going on in this backyard. Girl, y'all been drinking. Girl, we already know how people get when they start drinking. Girl, you over here, girl, trying to give me a rundown. I don't want no parts of that, baby. This is not the right time. I can't give you nothing. Not no support or no advice. Go, sit down. That's what I can tell you. And eat. Girl, hug your kids and then take your ass home. Um, I said he need to go to Iyanla. You know she love to call the black men. I said she need to go. He need to go to Iyanla. She'll understand. Melody arrives. Melody tells Latricia she brought two gifts for the babies, probably like some money, gift cards. Shout out to Melody, that was nice. Um, she tells She tells Latricia to not tell Marquez about signing the divorce papers. They're in like a small tent, and Marquez be lying. That nigga lie right then and there that fast. He walks inside. Latricia is talking to Melody, and he tells Melody that this is his first time being invited over. And then Latricia says, this is not your first time being invited over. You've been inside. You've been inside of, she named the kids. You've been inside their bedrooms. And then he was just like, then he like changed the conversation. Girl, why did you just lie like that? You just lied and said this is your first time being invited over. But then when she say you're a lie, you've been invited over and you've been inside the house. Not only have you been inside the house, but your ass been upstairs in their bedrooms too. Like, what are you talking about? God, this nigga be lying. And then he put, I'm telling you, Marquez was on one since he was. Marquez came to this barbecue that was supposed to, or fish fry, whatever it was, party to celebrate his kids, but he really came to start some shit. That's why when we get to Ken, I understand why what happened. Even though Ken was being messy. Hey, let's get to it. And then he says, I know your ex. He was talking to Melody. And then she was like, I mean, you know him too. That's what he said. That's what he said to Latricia. I said, oh, girl, Marquez. Marquez want to fight. Marquez wants to fight. You've been messy since you walked in. Then he asked for some advice from Melody as far as like, I guess he said something about like triggering, like people triggering you or something. This is what Melody said. I said, oh, Melody, that's some nasty work. I said, okay, your slip is showing. She says some of the energy that she is giving, that's what she said about Latricia. Some of the energy that she is giving can be triggering because I can feel it. I said, oh, Melody, girl, that's some nasty work. So you really not only okay, I get it. You was being messy and petty, but girl, just a couple of weeks ago, you was talking about girl being a girl's girl. What she's talking about, girl being a girl's girl. And as soon as you got the chance to kind of flip on Latricia and take her ex side, you did. But I guarantee you, somebody did that to her and Martell, she would cut them off with the quickness. But you did it to Latricia. You were supposed to have Latricia's back. Or at least if you wanted to be neutral, be neutral. But for you to kind of like, yeah, I know she probably triggering because I can feel it too. Oh, so you really just mad about, so now your slip is showing. Oh, you mad because you don't know, you don't know if Latricia is lying about fucking Martell before you left that house. Is that what it is? You mad, huh? You mad? You mad. Okay. And then Trisha says that it's just some built up resentment. And then she says, and then Melody says, hold up, built up resentment, like sexual resentment? Oh, girl. Now you being messy. Okay. And then Marquez says somebody was having sex, but it wasn't me. I said, girl, the girls is messy. Now, this is where I feel like the shit was about to go left. They leave the tent or wherever they were standing. I keep saying tent. Was it a tent? I can't remember. I think it was a tent because I think they had the food covered up. Anyways, I can't remember, girl. So all I know is if you go back and watch the show, you can see that when Latricia walked out first, she went directly to Ken. Go back and watch it. And Marquez and Melody were leaving right behind her. But when she walked out, and she hit that grass, Miss Thing went straight to Ken. I said, oh shit, she telling. I said, she telling. She telling just what happened in that goddamn tent. Ken says that he wants to give a speech. That's what I said, Ken. You is messy. You know what I tell you, Ken? You is messy. Baby, Ken said he wanted to give a speech. He gonna make it quick. He said, he said we want to celebrate the parents. Me, Trisha. Bitch, when I tell you they showed Marquez, when I tell you it looked like the devil had just crawled in Marquez's body and his whole body was just in shock. He looked like this. He said, all you guys that take care of your kids. This is what Ken is saying. All the time I was gagged. I said, oh, bitch, this is type of... Now, me being a messy bitch, I'm watching on my TV screen. I said, this is the type of shit I love. Okay, it's going to give me something to talk about. But, bitch, like, if I was there, I said, oh, girl, my nerves would have been bad because, girl, I just would have knew right then, girl, somebody about to fight. Y'all know, I talk a lot of shit, but I don't fight. Okay, I'm calling the cops on y'all asses. I said, girl, if I was there, I would have been nervous because these niggas about to fight. Girl, he said, all you guys that take care of your kids. He said, I got some good influences around me. I'm a younger father. Can I mind you, while he's standing up there, it's him. I think it's the little girl that he takes care of. You know, Ken doesn't have any biological children, but he has a daughter. I think he considers her a daughter, yeah, like his daughter. I think from a previous relationship, I can't remember what he said. But, and then, so it was Ken, it was a little girl, I'm assuming that was his daughter, and then it was Latricia, and it was Latricia's two kids that she has with Marquez. Now, this is when you have to clock the T. Bitch, did you see Latricia up there smirking? I said, oh, bitch, she know what Ken is doing. They planned this shit. Girl, go back and watch. You will see a smirk on Latricia's face. I said, oh, girl, she liked this mess. This is why she said earlier in the episode that she wants Ken to stop being so peaceful. She wants Ken to tug on Marquez's wig a little bit. And so that's why Ken was probably doing what he was doing. But I also think it was because, girl, Marquez did walk in there and do a whole bunch of fuck shit. Now, let me just say something. I got a lot I have to say about this. I hope this makes sense. Was Ken messy for doing what he did? Yes. Absolutely. That was messy as hell and unnecessary. And this is where Ken, you're trying to play both sides. You want to be the good guy and you don't want it to be chaos and confusion and you don't want it to be any type of awkwardness. That's what you said. But then you pull a stunt like this. If you really want to be the, the one, because like I always say, yes, people can do something to you and you can respond. However, once you start to respond, even if you feel like someone did you wrong, you're then participating in the fuck shit. You see what I'm saying? Like Ken, at this point, Ken, you're deciding to engage in the mess with Marquez. But then you'll also say, like in a previous scene, but you don't want to, excuse me, you don't want it to be awkward in front of the kids. And I'm sure, he don't want it to be no mess. But look at what you're doing. Yes, Marquez is messy as hell. And he's been on some shit since he walked into this goddamn backyard. But you don't have to engage. And you're choosing to engage. And then as soon as the shit hit the fan, right? Because Marquez, to me, Ken should have, with this being a party for his kids or his stepkids or whatever he want to call them, I do feel that Ken should have just tried to pay Marquez dust. Like, girl, I'm not even going to say nothing because it's not even about us right now. This is about these kids. But with what Ken pulling the stunt that he did, when the furniture started moving and girl bottles started flying, girl, it's gonna be because you decided to get up in front of all those people, knowing this nigga is unhinged, knowing he's fucking psycho and nuts and need therapy. Like, this is why it happened. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Now, the next thing I want to say, okay? I know this is going to sound confusing. I think what frustrates me is you can acknowledge that Ken was being messy and he shouldn't have did what he did, but bitch, we're not going to defend no motherfucking Marquez. It sounds like Marquez is an ain't shit daddy. That's what it sounds like. The little girl, his daughter walked right past his black ass. Didn't even want to acknowledge him. So we can call Ken messy, but we're not going to defend Marquez. I see too many people online. He ain't have to say that. No, he didn't have to. He ain't have to talk about they they're throwing shots at the fight. Well, if the nigga is an that's a problem. Y'all need to stop trying to protect ain't shit niggas. An ain't shit nigga is an ain't shit nigga. And I'm standing on it. Ken ain't have to say that. But Marquez, the truth is the truth, though. Did he lie? Did Ken lie? Because there's a difference between you didn't have to say that versus saying you lied. Ken didn't have to say what he said. Girl, but did he lie? Girl, did he lie? Did he lie? Did he lie? You know what I'm saying? That was a mess, y'all. Did I write something else? So that's all I had. And then it went off. It said to be continued. So I don't know if they're gonna start fighting or not. Oh, and then girl, I forgot this part. And girl, Marquez walked up. Girl, this is what I forgot. Oh, I almost forgot. Girl, Marquez walked up from the crowd and stood right by them and said, "I'm the father. Hi." I'm sure that Marquez up for he's even acknowledged that for the last couple of years he has not been involved financially. He hasn't been able to really contribute to the kids. um, I'm sure that Marquez has done something for his kids, but Marquez, baby, you are the biological father. Past that, we have some question marks. We have some questions to ask. You want everybody to know that you're the father because you don't want nobody thinking that Ken is a father. But do you act like a father? Because again, your daughter walking right past you was very telling to me. I hope Ken don't apologize. He probably could apologize and say I probably shouldn't have did that. This is the thing. He shouldn't have done that at let me say something. He was wrong for saying what he said where at the time. It was a wrong place. If Ken would have said that and they were not at a kid's party, I wouldn't even blame Ken. But Ken was wrong because when you look at the whole mess and you look at this as a kids party, we're here to celebrate the kids. Ken, you always want to play the bigger role. Now, if that's the role you're gonna play, then you just have to play the bigger role. But now you're engaging in the fuck shit at your children's celebration. So if the shit go left, you're gonna have to take some responsibility on why the shit went left. The shit went left because you got your ass in front of them goddamn people, girl, trying to be cute at a celebration for the children. You see what I'm saying? If this would have happened at the cookout or at Destiny's party or whatever she had, and the shit went down there. Okay, girl, y'all in the middle of the field, bitch. Let the girls tussle. Let them fight. Let them fight. Right? But we celebrating the kids today, Ken. We can't keep all that mess up. Not today. It's a time and a place for everything. But that does not take away from whether or not Ken was telling a lie. And I don't think he was on about the shit he said when he said up there. He was just being messy. He was just being messy at that time. And Marquez felt hit. But you should have felt hit. I'm standing on it. My stomach growling. Anyways, I think that's it. Let me look over these notes real fast. Hold up. Melody, Latricia, Nell, Chris, Martell. Feels like Melody should know what they said. Girl, shut up, Martell. Latricia, Destiny, Amber. That was a notary. That was a notary girl. Destiny want everybody to grieve. Girl, girl, let me shut up. Marcel, Letitia. Marcel still an ain't shit daddy. He don't even know his kids. Girl. Melody. Marcel mentioned him. Okay, Latricia, Ken. Okay, Marquez. Okay, Ken's speech. Okay, y'all, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. This review is probably long as hell. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.